right, welcome back, watch fans. Oh wait, which watch? Close the boxes. Close the boxes. We got to start. We close the boxes. We got to restart. Okay, we have to edit this out. All right, welcome back, watch fans. We have an amazing episode for you today. We have, I think, could be one of the biggest heavy hitter collections we have had on the show. We got Casio. We got Tissot. We also have some Richard Mille and Audemars Piguet. And with that said, we're going to welcome collector Which Watch 63. Welcome.
Yeah, hi everyone. Hey, watch reporter. Thanks for having me.
Absolute pleasure. Listen, before we even get started with showing people what's in the box, I just want to show the punters a little bit, give them a preview of exactly what we're talking about. This is hang on a second, let me zoom in. Sorry, got a slow cut. This is the Instagram page. Let me zoom. There we go. Okay, is this visible? We got the Instagram page, and here we go. We got the Instagram page, and let's take a look at what's on the page. And just to give a little bit of a preview, we got some RMs. By the way, great photos. We got my favorite AP, which is white gold with a baguette diamond markers. This is the best watch they make, in my opinion.
It's a good one.
I wish they made it a little smaller. This is 41, right?
It can be a little chunky at times, for sure.
It could be, yeah. Listen. What is the expression? Sometimes you have to sacrifice. Beauty requires some pain, right? You have to sacrifice pain for beauty. Okay, now we got this. Just to give the punters a little snapshot. I don't know if this is I don't know. I'm sure somebody else was holding the camera. I'm sure you're not holding the camera while you're doing this. A passenger was holding the camera. What do we got? This is somewhere. I think I know this road. This is not Mulholland. Is this Mulholland?
That might be Latigo Canyon, or it's somewhere in Malibu. I don't remember exactly.
Okay. This is the best. Let me tell you something. Is this a convertible, or is it like the roof pops off? How does it work on this car?
It's a hardtop convertible.
458
Spider.
458 Spider. Okay, so I haven't kept up with Ferraris after the 365. The 2000. I lost track.
Yeah, it's a timeless. I mean, in my opinion, it's the best Ferrari they ever made, but it's timeless. I have a 2013, but you wouldn't be able to tell based on the design of the car. It's beautiful.
You know what? My mechanic, who does he does basically work on Ferrari, Lambo. He says the new Ferraris, the stuff in the last 10 years, is super reliable. No, you just have oil changes. That's it. I mean, okay, I'm exaggerating, but it's not like what it was 20 years ago.
Yeah, no, I have a BMW as my daily driver, and I've had way more issues with that since I got the Ferrari. So I can attest to it. They're pretty reliable.
What do you got? A 3 Series like Archie?
No, I have a X6M.
Does it leak? Does it leak oil?
It leaks AC coolant. Not oil.
There you go.
I always have to check it though to make sure it's not something else.
They're leaking something. I mean, that is my issue with the BMW.
It's always making something.
Yeah, I'm like, that's it. I'm done. So so let's see. Well, actually, I didn't have a BMW. The closest I got was even worse. I had a 2004 Range Rover, which had the BMW engine.
Yeah.
And car, I had to go through it was literally a financial catastrophe. I mean, the oil was leaking, everything was leaking, and you fix it. But I put like 100,000 miles on it. I bought it with 90, and I sold it with 190.
Wow. That's a tank. That's a tank.
When the car works, it's great. I mean, but it was whatever. But listen, right now I have an 06 Bentley Flying Spur, right, which is
nice.
VW. It's a VW platform. No problems at all. Nothing. I mean,
reliable.
Just
nice.
oil change. Yeah, oil change. every once in a while, you have like something costs $1,000 every like year or so, but best car ever. I mean, it's like, I mean, and that car is like, I paid like 30, like low 30s about
That's
5 years
amazing.
ago,
Yeah.
4 years. Unbelievable value. I mean, it's like, it's actually the cheapest car I've ever had in terms of, what do you talk in terms of, maintenance, everything. The best.
When they're
I would
well
just,
made, they hold up, right? It's kind of, I mean, watches are similar, right? It's just,
I would
they're well.
love to get a slightly newer one, maybe like a 2010. And by the way, my car I could probably keep up with you because I can do 200. At least that's what it says on my speedometer. I can do 200.
I bet you could then. I bet you could.
Did you go to Pebble Beach? Did you go to the concourse?
No, I didn't. I wish I did. I'm part of a car club. A lot of my friends in the car club went to Pebble Beach, but I was out of town. I gotta get there eventually. I know a lot of collectors go.
Have you ever been?
No, I'd love to.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So there's a group. I went there a couple times. I was there last year, and I drove up in the Bentley, right? And I was going from LA, up the PCH to, all the way. That's the way you got to do it, right? The PCH.
Yeah, you got to drive that.
Unbelievable. Have you ever driven all the way to like San Francisco, like through Big Sur?
I haven't. It's still on my bucket list. I've driven like obviously the entire PCH and Malibu and things like that where it ends up near Ventura, but I've gone up to Santa Barbara, but I've never gone all the way to San Francisco.
No, this car, what you have, it needs to go to PCH, like through Big Sur to Pebble Beach, because it's unbelievable. It's like the ocean is right. It's amazing. Especially with the top down. That's the only way to do it. But so I went there last year, and all these. I'm driving up, and there's some sort of clubs. There's a bunch of car clubs. These Porsche guys. There's some club in LA, I think, whatever it's called. Like, I don't know what it's called. But anyway, but I was. And I was going, let's say, I wasn't going crazy, and there was a Bugatti that was pulled up alongside me, right? And, he was going, let's just say, a little bit above, the speed limit. And I was able to keep up, but then, at some point, like, I'm not going to do, 140, you know what I mean? Like he started going.
At some point, you get reckless. Exactly.
And then then he just like, then he was gone, but but the car can keep up. So, but anyway, listen, we're not here to talk about antique Bentleys. We're here to talk about the watch collecting, and we're here to talk about your collection. So, so you got 2 boxes in there. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out what's in these boxes here. I bet I don't know, which one should we open? I don't know. We got some live people on the show. I don't know. Should we take a vote? Which should we open here? Which one should we prefer? Let's do the big green. Nah, let's do the one on the right. Let's do the one on the right.
Okay. I'll put this aside for now.
No, keep it there. Keep it there. No, it's good. It's good. Yeah. I love the green. I love the green Goyard. It's the best. It's the best.
It's a pretty color.
It's great. I have a cigar. I have a cigar thing. Yeah, go. Let's go. Ooh, wow! Look at the box. Is amazing. By the way, the box is amazing.
Camera a little bit.
Now, is that it's a brown color, right? The box, the Goyard box.
Yeah, this is like their it's kind of black and brown.
Yeah, no, it's great. And there's no strap on it. There's nothing to keep it closed, pretty much, right?
No, there's no strap on this one. This one is just the lid.
Which
I don't know how I feel about the strap, to be honest with you. Like,
I don't like the strap.
I don't love the strap. And you know what really bothers me? Now, granted, everyone will get it when we get here, but when you have nice watches in here, which I've had a different,
you got to keep it secure.
This buckle can flop around and ding your watches, which I'm like nutty about scratches and stuff like that. So you got to be a little careful when you open it, right? Because it could like flop back down, and if this hits gold,
it's a hard leather.
It'll ding it. Yeah. Well, no, this is metal. You see the metal top here?
Yeah.
keep that away from your watches. But outside of that, I mean,
Okay.
it's pretty.
But that one, the smaller box, there's nothing to keep it
There's
closed
nothing.
securely. So
No, so you got to be
it's
short-handed with this one.
this is yeah, okay. All right, let's open the box. Let's look at some of the heavy hitters. Now
Yeah.
we actually did a video review of the collection, but now we have you live in person. So
Yeah.
you know what? Let's before we shit. Let me look. Pull out the AP. Let me see the AP. Let me see that AP. I love this watch.
So this watch is this is actually the watch that got me into watch collecting. So actually, before we go through that,
Yeah.
I'm a wrist check here. So this is my
Oh yeah.
Rolex sub, a 1993 aluminum bezel. I was born in 1994. I didn't find out it was pretty close to my birth year until many years after I bought it. But this is really the watch that I first bought for myself.
The
Um,
bluesy. The
the bluesy,
bluesy.
correct.
Let's see.
I was in
It's
South
got the
Florida.
stainless.
Was
You
in
got the
like South
basic
Florida. I
class.
walked
You got
into a
the
jeweler, got this one. This is the steel clasp. I mean, I don't know. I didn't know a whole lot
tomato
about it. I
can.
just, I figured at some point I needed a Rolex, and so this was kind of my first foray into watches. And that was a
Okay,
bunch of
hold
years
on.
ago.
Hold on a second. Okay, so this was wait. So the Submariner, the bluesy, that was the first watch that you bought.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. Now I'm curious. When you how old were you when you bought when you bought the Submariner? Like when was that?
I don't remember exactly. It would have been like 2018.
Okay, so
So
it's like you were in your early 20s then.
I was probably 25, 24,
Okay,
25,
it was
something like that.
okay.
Yeah.
So that was your first like let's call it real watch or whatever. Now, what made you decide to get that? What was the give me the thought process? You're 25. Like what was the you were living in
Yeah.
Miami?
Well, I was. What was it? No, I was living in LA at the time. I spent a lot of time in Miami, but I was there. I can't remember what I was there for, but I don't know. I work in finance. In the finance world, you see a lot of watches, a lot of Rolex. So at the time, I didn't know a whole lot about watches or anything like that. I guess shame to say, it doesn't matter. The truth of the matter is, everyone had a Rolex, so I figured I should get one too, right? So I think I closed one of my first transactions that I was working on, that I was proud to do way back kind of earlier on in my career, and so I got the bonus and spent it on this. So it was it was a good milestone for me. Now it's kind of a good reminder. Watch one. It's like my first obviously watch I bought myself. I have some other sentimental ones we can talk about in a little bit, but
Yeah, we'll
this
get
is
into
a
that.
good
Yeah.
one because it was a difficult deal, and I wear it whenever I'm like going through difficult issues with work or life, whatever. It just reminds me, like you figured out something once before, you can figure out this. So like I always laugh. I
Bring
tell
it up. Bring up that dial. It looks like the one which has the purple in it. It's got like a purple. There's a little bit
let's
purple
see
in
if
it
we can get it better under the light.
because
It's got a
some of
little
them
bit
like
to it.
turn.
So I spoken to somebody. So I did have it serviced by Rolex. Um, I want to say in like 2021, no 2022.
Okay.
They did replace the
Why?
die. I
Why
don't know. I
did you
didn't
have
know
to
better.
service? Okay.
I guess it was good that I did because they did actually find that there were a couple Franken pieces with it.
Oh.
So they were able to like I think the crystal was like not roll. So, it's on some paper somewhere, but
Okay.
so they replaced a bunch of pieces on it. I don't know. I think it cost me like $4,000, which is crazy because that's like
Oh.
70% of what I paid for the watch or something like that.
Oh my God.
But yeah,
But
it is
listen.
what it is. I wasn't even really a watch collector at that point,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I thought it was just kind of par for the course.
It's
But
education.
yeah,
Listen,
yeah,
it's all education.
yeah,
The most expensive education is not college. It's real life, right? This is
exactly. But no, it's
so okay. Hold on a
beautiful
second.
piece, man.
Wait, so when you got this watch, you're in Miami. Were you just on vacation, or were you looking for a watch? Because this is the ultimate Miami watch. I mean, this watch
Yeah.
is Miami.
No,
On
I
the
mean it was.
beach.
I mean, look, I think when I think of Rolex, at least for a long time before I knew anything about kind of the history and like the popular models or whatever, like this to me was always the one like that. It had a little bit of flash to it, kind of classy. I think you'll see with some of my other watches, like I like louder, stuff.
a little flash. You know, it's a little.
Yeah,
You like
just
something
a
with a
little
little
bit,
bit
just a
of,
little bit. So there's not like
not
the
too much.
all steel sub, which I like. To me that can be a little plain. I feel
Boring,
like
boring.
this
No, it's not
has
for
that.
you. Listen. You would have been so unhappy if you would have bought that like basic black dial. You'd have been like depressed. It would have put you into depression.
Yeah,
That watch depresses me. This watch is like, it makes you happy. It's got the gold. I think it's, yeah. Listen. I did a whole bunch of, I love two tone. I'm wearing, AP two tone. I got that. I love two tone
yeah,
because too much. I don't want to wear full gold. This is just enough. The blue is. I mean, it's the icon. It's the iconic watch. And
yeah.
this size, I think
It's a
this is
good
so much
size.
better than the model. Yeah,
It's like
it's
I have a
great.
bigger wrist. Like I have a 7.5-inch wrist, so sometimes
Wow.
it can get
Jeez.
tricky with like the sizing of watches. That's why a lot of my stuff can be a little bit bigger. But
Okay,
no,
okay,
this I love this piece. So this was the start, and then I
okay.
didn't collect any watches until really last year was really the start.
What? What? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Wait. So you buy this watch in 2018, and then you don't do anything for till last year, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I think I made the decision like I wanted to get another watch around the
But
end of 2022.
okay.
Um, and so I remember I think that's when I first made like an appointment with AP. I went in there. I told him, I want the blue dial. And keep in mind, I have zero idea about how things work, how,
Yeah, yeah.
whatever. Yeah. I just go into the boutique. I'm like, I want the steel blue dial Royal Oak. Either you're selling it to me or like I'm buying it. Like so I go and then
Which
obviously
one? The
they like
AP?
laugh me out the
Wait,
place.
the one in Beverly Hills?
Yeah, the Beverly Hills boutique. The AP house was in
Yeah,
Beverly
yeah,
Hills.
yeah, yeah. The little one. Yeah. So, by the way, I actually I went. I went there to get the bracelet sized because I didn't buy it from them. I bought all my watches I pretty much buy used. They were a little bit, they had a little bit, all the AP boutiques, they got a little bit of an attitude. Sometimes a little too much of an attitude. This one had a
Yeah,
little bit of like,
sometimes
oh,
they do. Sometimes they do. I mean,
but okay, so how much did you pay for this for the sub?
I think it was like seven grand. So this is
Yeah,
not. I mean, aside from the having to have Rolex service it, I've had gray
yeah,
market
forget it.
dealers
That's
offer
yeah,
me
forget
like
about that.
9 or
But
10 for it or whatever. So it's like
yeah,
yeah. So anyway, I'll never sell this
so
piece though.
seven
This is like a
grand.
forever watch.
Yes, 7 grand. That was the right price. So you buy the watch, and then like, so did it make you happy? What was the experience like?
Yeah,
Because that
man, it
was
was
like,
awesome. I mean, yeah, it's like it was yeah, it was everything you wanted it to be in a Rolex or a watch for a first purchase, right? It was well before I kind of learned about other watches and stuff. So I thought that this represent for a long time this was it. This is the one watch, and it's got all the wear to show for it, So wear it with work when I'm going out, when I'm hanging out with friends, whatever you're doing. So it was a great piece.
okay,
And, kind of just like
and,
hung out on my nightstand, and then but I always had it with me.
okay, and then all of a sudden, what? Like 5 years goes by, and all of a sudden you're thinking, what? I need an AP now?
Yeah. So the evolution comes a little differently. So at the time I was working I'm in investment banking. So I was working for a firm, and after some years, I ended up leaving that firm to help start one, to help co-found one. And we do like
Okay,
middle market mergers and acquisitions, and so
okay, okay,
we started that in very late 2020. So, and then our first official year would have been like 2021. Um,
okay.
and so that time went on. 2021, we start the firm. We have like an amazing year. I don't know if anyone who's listening is familiar with like M&A markets, but the last couple years, maybe not the last year or two, but the last couple years have been like record merger and acquisition years
Great,
for private equity
especially with
investors.
free money, with zero
So
interest rates.
exactly with zero interest rates and all that. So it was like a great time to start the firm, and we just had a crazy year. So that's actually where the kind of Ferrari came from. That was like my first milestone at the end of the year of kind of celebrating a big deal we closed.
But
And
you
then
were actually, it's relatively conservative because that's a 2013, right? The Ferrari.
yeah, yeah, it
You
was in
didn't, you didn't,
2013, and for me that was my dream car. Like
right.
that's the car that when I was I think that would have been when I was like in college, and you would see the Ferrari, the
Okay.
people driving Ferraris. That was like the popular model. You know, it's the last naturally aspirated V8 they're ever going to make. So the sound of it is just crazy compared to like the modern turbo engines. And so for me, that was like, if you know, I wish watches were one and done like that car was. That's the joke I always tell people, because like once I bought it, I never had an itch for another one or anything like that. Um,
Hold on. By
it
the
was
way,
just
speaking of the Ferrari, this question is going to come because this is like. Oh, by the way, we got one of the punters saying, "Is this the guy from? Is this the guy from the Archie? Is this the guy that's? Wait, you sent Archie $100 to do a watch review, right?
yeah. I had him do I had him do a collection review. I thought it'd be fun. So
He did. You know, it's this guy. I mean, I'm shocked he didn't do like an in-depth thing because he'd like, you know, it's like he did about 5 minutes. What
it was cool. It was cool. I mean, I'll be
That's
honest,
fine.
like, you know, and again,
No, no,
no shade. I mean,
I'm busting the ball. Yeah, it's everybody. I think everybody's done that. One of those. It's one of
yeah,
those. He's been around
it was
so
something
long,
fun
but
to do. You
so.
know,
But this is like an Archie question. Well, how much does it cost you to service the Ferrari? Like, how it must be. Tell us, what does that actually cost in terms of annual?
I mean, it's nothing. It's been the annual, like, you know, I don't even what do you an oil change or service, whatever. I got my guy Brian at Ferrari Beverly Hills Service. He's the best. He hits me up once a year. I bring it in, they service it, and like I'm not kidding. I've spent more servicing my BMW than I've spent on the Ferrari since I've gotten it.
Exactly. It's
So I think one time
it's
there was
people
like a
don't realize
sensor that was off, like
it's the
the tire pressure
sensors.
sensor, and they just like they did some wizardry to the electronics, and it was gone within a day. They didn't even charge me for it. So it's the maintenance has not been bad. Now, you know, knock on. Let me find some wood somewhere.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, we don't want anything to break, because I do know it can get expensive, but fortunately I've avoided
No,
any of that. It's been
it's
3
one of
years.
those
I
things
put
because
probably 15,000 miles on the car. I mean, I drive it, like I drive it a lot. So
it's probably kept its value actually because the market actually has done well in the last with the four, right? It's more or
I
less
mean, look, it's all relative, right? I mean, it's like it's kept its value, like any, you know, like I can't remember what I paid. I think I paid like 300 for it, like inclusive of tax. I did buy it at
okay.
like a high point in the market, 2021, like peak free
Yeah,
money.
yeah. The prices.
Um,
Okay,
my guess is today it's probably like 250. Two like a dealer might give me 250 or 240 and want to sell it for
that's
270. That'd be my
that's
guess,
pretty good.
maybe a little bit lower.
But
But
you
it's
can,
like I got to drive a Ferrari and accomplish my dream car. So for me, that like
yeah,
the
fucking
cost
great.
is, you know, cost of ownership is more than worth it.
There's a guy. Who's the guy? There's a guy on YouTube was exotic car hacks. You know that guy? Exotic car hacks.
I
He
think
does this
so.
whole.
The guy in Miami, or
Yeah. He
yeah,
basically
I've seen
talks.
him.
You get at the right part of the depreciation curve, you amortize whatever, and you know it's
Yeah,
basically you drive it for more or less, whatever. Okay,
yeah.
so you had a good year. You did some deals, right? And you get the Ferrari, and then shit, you can't drive a Ferrari with the sub. I mean, that's like it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I'm sure somebody brought that up. I mean, it's
Well,
not congruent. It's not
so it ends up
congruent with the
it's
lifestyle.
no. So it ends up being, so I get the Ferrari, right. I join a car club called Fast Lane Drive, which is like for anyone who's listening, it's like an amazing group of people. Super nice group. We have chapters all over the U.S. I happen to be one of the earlier members in the Los Angeles chapter, and so you know you start going to these and you network with other supercar owners. They own, you know, Porsches, Ferraris, Lamborghini, whatever. Naturally, now I start learning about watches, right? More than what I learned before, and enter the AP. So I went
Hold
to
on, wait,
one
wait,
of,
hold on.
well,
So you join this club, and now you have all these other guys, they're Ferraris, Lambos, and what kind of watches are they wearing?
I mean, it's a lot of what you'd expect. A lot of Rolex, a lot of Patek, a lot of AP. There are some like crazy collectors in the club, like a couple really crazy collectors. Like
What about RM?
one
Any
guy has.
RM? There's got to be a bunch of
There's a
RMs
couple
in
couple RM collectors, couple RM
there. Okay.
collectors. That's how I started to see one of them. A couple watch dealers actually, who they you know they're always wearing crazy pieces as well.
Anthony
Um,
Farrer? Anthony Farrer?
no,
He was in
he's
LA
not
for
part
that.
of the club.
He's not he was kicked out?
No, yeah, no, he's not part of the club. Um,
All right. So you're in this club, so you start seeing these watches, and then what happens?
Yeah, well, like I said, I joined the club and I went to an event one day, and I had started to think about kind of, we'd hit a point now, this is like late 2022, early 2023. And I think in late 2022, like, our firm was still doing pretty well. And I'd started to think about, okay, like maybe it's time to get another watch. Now, I did not expect to go off the deep end the way that I did. But I just started thinking
Hmm.
about, okay, if I want to get another watch, what would it be? And I started researching. I'm like, Patek, AP, what's more my vibe, et cetera, et cetera. And then I went to one of our car meetups, and there was a guy there, and he had literally this watch on. Like he had
Oh,
not this
wow.
specific watch, but like not the
This
physical one, but
model.
this model.
This model.
Um,
Yeah.
and I'm like, what is that? And he's like
Put that on
AP.
your wrist. Put that on your
Yeah,
wrist. We got
hold
to
on,
see that
let
on
me
the
take this
wrist.
off.
Yeah. And what kind of car was he driving?
He at the time had he was a big Ferrari collector. He had an SF90 Spider at the time, I think. He was a
Well, let me
he's a
see this.
huge he was a huge collector. He ended up he got this from AP directly, so he was like a big time kind of watch collector as well.
I mean,
Um,
I think this. Sorry, it's. I think this is the ultimate watch that they make. I'll tell you what. I did a review on this. This is again white gold. I'm a white gold guy. I think it's it's discreet. The ice blue dial is amazing. The date they also did in blue, but the diamond markers. I mean, because you can't have diamonds on the bezel; it's too much. On the dial, it's like
right,
perfection. I mean,
right.
it's amazing. It's like an amazing watch,
Yeah, this one this is a beautiful one, and so he was
and
wearing
it's a
this
limited edition. It's 100
limited
pieces they
edition,
did.
so it's limited of 100. It was actually an off
Yeah,
catalog piece, so they made they have the 37 millimeter with the ice blue dial in steel,
but not
and then
with not well, no, the 37 doesn't. They don't do that in baguettes. Only
but it
41
doesn't
they
have
do in
baguettes.
baguette.
Yeah, correct.
Huge
Um,
difference. It's a huge difference, Connor.
yeah,
This
it's a
is
big,
white
and
gold.
there's not
You
many in
compare
their
white
catalog
gold.
actually with baguettes. I think it's like, and if they do have baguettes, a lot of them will have just the kind of 12-hour marker,
No, this is it.
not
This
all the
is
way around.
forget it. This is it. Forget about it. This is 100 pieces. So you're safe because it's sort of there is safety in the limited edition thing. Okay, so you see the guy. He's got this watch. What happens? Give me
Yeah.
what happens then?
Well, so what effectively happens after that is I'm like, okay, I'm getting an AP. So the next week, I actually don't have this watch anymore. I hit up one of the dealers in the club, and I got the 15510 ST. So like just the regular kind of Royal Oak with the blue dial, the standard blue dial, and that sort of kicked off my collecting journey, if you will. And from there, I started kind of learning more about the watches. I went to AP, the boutique, before asking about that exact watch. I got it from a dealer. I went back to AP, was like, I told you I was getting this, in a nice way, not in like a, douchebag kind of way
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
that sort of kicked off the relationship. And then they kind of did put me through the whole ringer, the code and all of that. Um,
Oh shit! Wait, hold on. Give me back. Okay, hold on a second. So you go there. Wait. So first you bought a stainless Royal Oak with a blue
yeah,
dial.
yeah.
Is that the 39? What size? I get the numbers.
That
Is
was
that the
there's
39?
also a 41. That's actually part of the reason I don't have it anymore. Is it was kind of just like
41.
it's
It's like a
redundant to
dark
this.
blue. It's got the dark blue dial, right? It's got the
It's like
dark
a
blue
dark
dial.
blue. I mean, it's the same
It's
kind of dial
whatever.
as
It's
this,
okay.
but it doesn't pop as much on in
It's
stainless
yeah.
steel,
It's
is
it's
my
nothing
opinion.
special. It's nothing. I
Yeah.
don't find it anything special. So you
Um,
go into the AP store and okay. So now they see, oh shit, this guy is like he's not a flipper. He's probably a collector, right? So then what do they tell you? You got to buy a code. Is that what they do? What do they say to you?
more or less, it was like, we want you to explore the brand, et cetera, et cetera.
Or the brand.
And
That's such a
my
euphemism.
thing was, look, my thing was actually, it's not a terrible watch. I think it's a bit overpriced for what you get. It was one of the older iteration codes that I had had. Um, I actually kind of like the new ones in steel with like the stamp dials or whatever they are.
Hmm.
But it was kind of just like, this, and keep in mind, this is now late 2022, early 23. So the slowdown hadn't really hit them yet, right? And so they were
Yeah.
still kind of in that like holier than thou, kind of
Yeah.
mentality. And so like you're just lucky that we called you to get this. And I wanted to build a relationship with them. So and then I got the code. Um, And then shortly after that, we were talking about diamond on the bezel. So I got a diamond kind of bezel Royal Oak offshore from them.
Okay.
And then that sort of kind of helped move me up the list. And that actually transitions to sort of the next watch, which is this was the
Okay.
third watch I was able to kind of get with them, which just one
At
is
list,
cool.
at list, at retail.
At retail, yeah.
Okay. You know, it's funny. Actually, I was on a plane. There's a guy sitting right in front, like two rows up. He had this. He had one of those. Not this. I don't think that is that a blue dial. What kind of dial is that?
Yeah, this is the blue dial. This is also 41.
No, they had different. It was, but yeah, but this is the blue, and this is a rose gold, right? So the rose gold with this blue, it's pretty nice.
It makes the blue pop a lot more. Like I said, that was one of the things I didn't love about the steel one, was like the steel 15510.
It's a different blue.
It's the same. I think it's the same color blue. It just against steel, it doesn't really show up as well. And then you've got the sub dial, so it breaks up the color a little bit more. In the sub dials are in rose gold and stuff like that.
Okay, now let me ask you a serious question. Have you ever used the chronograph? How many times a week do you actually use it?
All the time.
Oh, you do? Wow.
Yeah, I was making tacos earlier, and I had time, now I was actually using the Richard Mille, but I was timing, like they say to wait 30 seconds before you flip the tortilla. Like I'm always timing stupid shit like that. So,
okay.
One thing for me is like with work, I'll time like what task I'm working on, like time, like I'll see how quickly I got through this or that, or whatever. I don't know.
Then you know what? Then it's perfect. Then it's because I always say, look, the chronograph. If you're not going to use the chronograph, there's no point in it, right? Like I use my Yacht Master because for me it's enough. It goes by the minutes. I don't, but if you're going to time, it's great. Okay, it's as long as. Okay, so you get this watch. Okay, and it's great. Wow. How long did it take to get the chronograph?
And we're a little out of chronological order, but this would have been so the code was in April or May.
Of 2022?
2020. This would have been 2023. The
23,
was in like July, I want to say. And then this was December.
Okay. Where's the offshore? Do you still have the offshore?
No, so I got rid of the code in the offshore, and I'll tell you why. So they just didn't fit me, and it was like I was kind of playing this game with AP where it's like you're trying to climb their lists and all this sort of stuff, but it just like I found myself I'm buying watches that I don't even really like, just to try to. And I was trying to see if I'd like them. And don't get me wrong, like I had some fun with it. It's got diamonds. I was like 29 at the time. You could go to the color or whatever.
What color was the offshore?
It was black. It had a black dial with and it had an interchangeable strap. It's on my Instagram somewhere if you take a look at it.
Oh, okay. It's actually, I think it could be a cool watch with the offshore with the diamond. It gives it a little, it makes it pop a little bit.
Don't get me wrong, it's nice, but it's not me, right? Like it's like, it wasn't, this is enough diamond, put it that way.
Yeah. Hang on. I'm going to bring up for the punters here. Okay. So we have the wall of shame. The wall of shame.
There you go.
The wall of shame. The code.
That's the code.
Did you take a hit when you sold it, or trade it?
Of course.
So you got the code. The lights of LA beneath you.
That's actually Miami.
Oh, is it my? Oh, that's the heart. Oh, that's the what do you call it? That's the bay. Oh, it's the bay. Shit. Yeah. Okay. There we go.
It's all right on that electric blue strap though. I kind of like. I like that.
It's a Miami look. It's a rose gold. It's a Miami. It's sort of like a Miami look. And this was the okay. So this is in LA. This is definitely LA. I know this somewhere. This looks familiar. Okay. So this was the basic steel watch.
Yeah.
This is a grail for most people. I mean, I not my thing, but it's like people love that watch. Hang on a second.
It's a great watch. Yeah, I think now one of the things I'm like thinking about.
There we go. The unboxing. Here comes the unboxing.
Oh yeah, you got the unboxing video. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, pretty watch.
Oop, there it is. I gotta tell you something. It's a kind of a cool watch. If somebody can pull off that's a 41 millimeter or something.
43. I mean, it's big.
Oh,
it's big. But yeah, my girlfriend was really upset I got rid of that one. She liked the diamonds.
She was hoping you'd give it to her as a gift. I mean, I don't know if it would fit her though.
Yeah, it'd be her whole hand. Yeah.
Hey, here's with the Ferrari. Hang on. There we go. This is the watch in situ with the white strap. It's nice. Look at this. You got white rubber strap right there.
Yep.
Hey, shit. It's the interchangeable straps makes it versatile. That's cool.
You can change it.
So
you can change it a lot. You can also, the other strap I liked wearing it with was a leather. There was a leather like interchangeable one, which made it little dresses. Like I wore that for New Year's with a suit. It was cool.
Yeah. Okay. So then you get those watches. Now, how did you get to the diamond, the ice blue dial?
Yeah. So this I actually bought. So this one, when I saw the guy who had it, it like never left my head, right? And so it's
exactly.
You hear like collectors like, I went and got an AP, but like it didn't scratch the itch the same way that like this one I felt was going to, and it kind of just never left my head since I saw it. And so I was actually walking into I don't know if anybody watching is like Happy Jewelers, which is they have like their own YouTube channel and stuff. Like they're great guys down there.
Yeah, they're in like Orange County somewhere, right?
Orange County.
In the middle of nowhere. Yeah.
And so I went there just because like I watch just like your channel and Archie, and I watch all these YouTube channels, and so they put out a lot of stuff. So I was like, let me go drive and check this out. So I go in there, and I'm talking. His name, the guy I work with there, his name is Pete. And so I'm talking to Pete. I met him for the first time. And we were talking watches. I was wearing like the steel AP, and we were going back and forth. I'm like, there's this ice blue one that I like can't get out of my head, and that's the watch I really want right now. And he's like, dude, no way. We have one, and we haven't even put it in stock yet. It's in the back. It just came in today. So I'm like, okay, let me see it. Brings it out. I'm like, I'm leaving with this watch. So that was when, and that was when I kind of came across it and got it. But the first time I was actually able to see it again in person was when I kind of pulled the trigger on it. So that was
when did you get this?
That was like May or June of 23. So it's kind of in between of some of these others.
Okay. How much was that? I mean, this was pricey. This has got to be north of one.
This one was pricey. Probably. I mean, shit. I've lost some money on it. For sure. I'm pretty sure. But again, this is another one that I probably won't sell. Or I'll keep for a very long time. I think I paid like $170 inclusive of tax.
Okay,
which is again, this is a higher point in the market. It's worth a lot less now. But
it's. I think they were in the like. I think what are the last time I looked, they were like in the like. Maybe 130 or something, maybe, or it's hard to say.
You'll see them like listed. You might see them pop up. See, there's not that many, so it's hard to get comps on them. But you might see it pop up in Moda for like 130. You'll see it listed on Chrono 24 for maybe 140 or something like that. I mean, I haven't checked recently, but
honestly, I think that watch, you're not going to lose money if you hold it. I think this one is a classic.
I agree.
It's a classic. I mean,
it does for whatever reason. It doesn't get the appreciation it deserves. I think from
nobody knows about it.
People don't know about it exactly. So
they don't know about it. It's like
I think in 15, 20 years, whatever. If I think it'll be a sought after piece.
I think in 10 years, if people are still wearing watches, assuming that, people are going to forget about. They're not going to be. And this is going to be one of these. How much the list on that is also not cheap. I think the list is what? It's 100 something. The list was what?
I don't know what list was. I mean, my guess is it was probably like 90 to 100, something like that.
Yeah. So you're paying a little. It's not a massive premium compared to a lot of their other watches. It's not massive. Percentage wise, it's like it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable, but it's not like 3 times list. It's not 3 times list. Okay, so
right.
I think look, here's what we got to realize, right? You're in banking, right? These guys keep jacking up the prices 5% compounding year after year, right? So the comps for this watch, I mean, for something similar in, let's call it 7 years, what's the math? It's going to be like basically double with to do 5% compounding. How many years before it doubles? Is it 10 years or 8 years?
Well,
How
there's
many
the
years?
rule of 7. I mean, I don't really know.
7.
Yeah, yeah, I can't. Mental math is certainly not my strong suit, but
I would say within 7 years, that watch is going to be you're going to be at you're not going to lose money with it. I mean, I'm not saying if you put the 100 grand into whatever real estate, who knows what, but this watch it's the psychic pleasure you get from it. Also, it's like, listen, it's
right.
like you need some sort of material pleasure because that motivates you to make money. That's like part of your job, really, right? Kind of.
No, man. I mean,
It motivates.
it's true. It's true. It's like these. There's many nights I come home and just mess with the watches. Just like this, right? I just sit around, put it on, play with it, wind it up, look at the back.
We got to get some light. We're losing daylight here. It's already night.
Let me turn on the lights. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
How's that? Is that too bright?
Oh no, it's great. It's great. Hey, by the way, do you subscribe to our free newsletter, the Watch newsletter, the Watch Reporter newsletter?
I'm not sure that I am, but I will.
You're not sure. That means that's being diplomatic. So I'm going to give a quick plug for a free weekly newsletter. Anybody, click the link in the video description below. Every week we have different content like market reports, everything on stuff that we don't cover in the videos. It's like more in depth. Everything on modern, vintage, Rolex, Patek, AP, even RM, everything, Vacheron, everything. Cool. So it's the link is in the video description. Check it out; it's absolutely free. All right, so you got so you've had this watch for a year now, basically.
Yeah, the lighting actually, the change in lighting makes the dial. It's making the dial pop a little bit more. So you can kind of
it's an amazing dial in daylight. It's amazing because you got the facets from the bracelet. It's like, because look at this. You get look at the play with the light. Like I got just like this is just a basic watch, right? But when you have the diamonds on there, then it goes, just like it's now.
That's a pretty watch, though, man. That's beautiful.
Who has seen you wear this watch? I mean, where have you worn this watch? Do you wear it to the car meetup? Where do you wear this watch?
I mean, I've worn it to car meetups. I mean, this is for me is like I wear. So during the week I wear a lot of suits. Now, when I go to the office, like I'm usually wearing like one of these two, maybe this. This one's hard to wear in a suit.
You can't. It doesn't fit under a cuff.
Yeah. Like what if I'm meeting with clients or prospective clients? Yeah, I usually actually won't wear any of these. I usually just wear like the sun.
Yeah. I'm curious. Hold on a second. I'm curious. Okay, so you're in middle market M&A, right? And you're meeting with these are companies like could be what? Like I don't know, a guy who's got a chain of 100 diesel repair shops or something doing 50 million a year revenues or something like that.
Yeah, I mean it's different industries have different margin profiles, so that'll change like the revenue. But it's usually our clients are usually like 5 million in EBITDA to 20 million of EBITDA. So like in terms of like deal values, that's probably 50 to 75 to 150, 200, 300 on the higher end.
Okay.
Our sweet spot, like most deals tend to be in that like 75 to 150 range.
Okay, so that's nice. So, and you guys get what do you get? Like what's the 5%? The Lehman formula?
It's variable and all negotiated for each transaction. The idea though is obviously you want to create incentives that if you hit it out of the park above expectations, then obviously you get compensation.
Okay. Just like the auction houses, just like Sotheby's, that's what their deal is. Basically, they lowered the commission. What they've done is because they figure, okay, we're going to lower the commission, but if your lot sells above estimate, whatever it is, then we get 20. Whatever, I forget the number, but 25%, whatever. So they make it. That's whatever. And basically, they're hoping for like something which is an outlier where they're going to really clean up.
Kill it.
Okay, so I'm curious. You're meeting these guys, right? So basically, you're meeting with the sellers, right? You're meeting sellers primarily.
We represent kind of entrepreneurs through the process.
Okay.
So we have
psychologically, it's kind of a balance because you want the guy to know that hey, you're a professional, you're successful at what you do, you're very good, but maybe you don't want him to think you're making too much money off him, right? Like it's a balance, right?
Correct. maybe after they're a client, you might wear. No, I'm joking. You would you generally speaking, you want to be I always tell people like perception is a big managing perception is a big thing in our job and what we do and for the
It's
clients. And
total.
so
It's all perception.
exactly.
It's
And
all
so
perception.
you want to wear something that portrays like I know what I'm talking about, but you just like in anything else, you don't want to portray that they're paying you too much to do it. That's all.
I think the RM. I don't think you could wear an RM unless you're dealing with some guy from Texas who's already very flashy. You couldn't do it. It's like it's too much for the average guy, right? The RM is a little too
Yeah,
out there.
to be totally honest with you, there was only one. I won't. There was one meeting in the course of my entire career where a guy wore an RM to the meeting. I didn't even know. I hadn't even started collecting it. I just knew I was like, this guy's wearing a Richard Mille, and he was a dick. So that was just
Well,
yeah.
Listen, no offense, but RM does attract a certain type of personality.
Well, it does. It's funny. It certainly can and does at times, certain people. But I remember I just remember him being at the meeting, so I didn't want to ever be that guy. If that makes sense.
Yeah. So okay, so basically, look. The reality is you're meeting guys who are making 5-10 million a year, right? They're taking home 5-10 million a year from their business.
From the business,
They have a
yeah.
net worth. They're worth 50 million plus 100 million. So it's a question. So what's the right watch, which strikes that balance, right? It's got to be something like.
Yeah.
Do these your clients ever
I think
comment
I'm
on
going
the
to start to
watches?
change it. So for a long time it was this, right? For a long time it was this.
Too basic. Too basic. You can't wear that watch.
I know. So at times I wear, sometimes I'd like to wear this. I think the diamonds maybe are a bit much at times. Although, people in our field like will wear like the not the two-tone, the day dates with baguettes. Maybe it's a little bit more toned down.
By the way, I love the day date meteorite dial, the white gold with the meteorite.
That one is pretty. You could wear that, something like that, because people aren't going to really know. Unless they're watch people, they wouldn't really know.
Yeah.
This one I don't hesitate to wear. Like I probably wouldn't wear this. I'll wear this to meet clients, like once we're already working together. And by the way, no one's ever cared about my watch, to be clear. But
right.
I wouldn't wear it to a prospective client meeting. If like
okay,
once
exactly.
they sign up with us, I'm like, I'll wear this. It's not a big deal.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
I think what I want to get though is the next watch I kind of have my eyes on when I'm ready to pull the trigger will be a 5711, and I think that'll be the right kind of balance between.
I got to tell you, can I give you some advice? If you're going to go with the 5711, right?
Yep.
You're not going to be happy with that. You're not going to be happy with that.
Why not?
No. You talk about you talk about the rose gold?
No.
Wait, 5711. Wait, you talk about the Nautilus? The Nautilus. The steel Nautilus.
5711 steel.
You're not going to be happy with that. It's a very basic watch.
You don't think so?
It's overhyped. It's basic. It's not for you. You know what the watch that you need?
What's that?
Is the Nautilus perpetual calendar, the 5740.
I watched your video where you commented on the Archie stream, and you did get me thinking. That one is up there. That one is up there. It's a pretty that's a pretty watch.
I'll tell you the only reason I mention it is because, hang on a second, I'll bring it up on a screen here, is because it matches the hang on, let me pull this up. It kind of I don't want to say matches, but kind of, if you like the Royal Oak with the blue dial baguettes, here's the difference with this is, if you like the Nautilus thing, okay, it's a Nautilus. It's white gold. It's a perpetual calendar, right? That's like what Patek is. That's like their ultimate thing, the perpetual. Mm-hmm. They don't make that many of these, right? And these are very undervalued compared to some of the bullshit, Nautilus. They have some stupid ones. This one is very low key. Nobody, see, you can wear this watch to a meeting, and the guys who know, they know. But nobody's gonna say, "Oh shit, this guy's making too much money," because the watch is so low key. It's like so. I mean, it's. You know who has one? Bill Ackman.
He's got one of these.
He's got one, yeah.
Okay, that's a good plug.
Yeah. So listen, and Bill Ackman is not a flashy guy. I mean, he's a multi-billionaire, but he's not a flashy guy, right? So
Yeah.
this is a watch like, you have all these guys saying, oh, the Aquanaut. Yeah, the Aquanaut is a bullshit watch. The Nautilus.
I don't like the Aquanauts that much.
This
I like
really,
the 5154, like the travel time. I don't think it would fit me, but
which one? The Nautilus?
The Aquanaut. Were you saying the Aquanauts? It's only
the Aquanaut. That stuff is basic. That stuff is the Aquanaut is a basic watch. If you're gonna go with a Nautilus, you can't go with a basic Nautilus. You're not gonna be happy. It's gonna be bad for you. You might as well get the 5740, and you probably get them for like, I would have to say 175. You might be able to get one. So it's a little bit over retail. I think retail is 150.
I mean, I've been thinking about it more since you actually mentioned it, because I hadn't given that one a whole lot of thought. I'd have to put one on. Part of the reason I want to steal.
If you put it on, yeah.
Part of the reason I want to steal watch in my collection is just the weight. Like sometimes wearing white, like the gold at times is just wearing it all day. Sometimes I wonder if I'd rather wear steel, but I know those come in gold. But I have to check it out.
No, so here's the thing. So that watch, I had it on the wrist. It feels amazing. It's like 40 millimeter. So it's thin. It's thin. So it slides, it slides under a dress cuff, right? And it's an amazing. It's an incredible feeling having on your wrist. And by the way, I'm really not a fan of modern Patek. I'm not on commission. I have nothing. I'm not selling. But it's like, if like you can cover that if the check clears. That watch is it's a nice watch, a really nice watch. If you're gonna go Nautilus, that's the only Nautilus you should consider. The others
I gotta find one and try it on. Then I gotta try it on.
And especially now that I understand what you do, because if you're doing let's say middle market M&A, you're dealing with some high end guys. That watch, nobody's gonna say, oh, this guy is like making too much. It's because it's kind of a traditionally Patek is kind of like a conservative old money type of thing. It's not, it's not a, that watch is, it's a classy watch, and only the right people will know what it is. So it's great. I love and by the way, you don't have a perpetual calendar. The perpetual calendar is, you'd be very happy.
No, I don't. I'd always thought like getting an AP perpetual calendar was when I was ready to get one. So I think I would still, because my understanding is, I think the AP perpetual calendars are kind of like the gold standard perpetual calendar. Is my
I think between Patek and AP, I think it's a toss up, whatever. But I would say the Royal Oak perpetual calendar, if you can wear, because it's a huge watch. It's like a 40. It's big.
Yeah, they're 41. Yeah.
They're beautiful watches. I think they're amazing watches. I would like to find one, if I could find the right one, but in the small, like the previous generation, like a 2005 circa. But
some of the older ones are really nice. I tried on a like one of the skeleton open worked perpetual calendars. But the steel one from a long time ago, it was nice. It was nice.
It's okay.
That wouldn't work for the purpose we're talking about, but it was cool.
You can't tell the time. You can't tell the time when it's a skeleton. It's like, what's the point?
You can't tell the time.
But I'll tell you what I like about perpetual calendar, right? Like, you're everything is about timing, right? So on the watch, you basically can see the day, the month, you can basically see where you are, in kind of the context of the year. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. That to me is the coolest piece about perpetual calendars, and I don't know where that sits on the 5740, but I saw on the AP one it has like the week of the year and like the quarter or something like that. That to me is cool because in finance, I think
quarter, right? Exactly. Which quarter? Are we the first, second quarter?
Like Q1, Q2.
It tells you on the watch,
and it just kind of like
on the watch. It shows you which quarter you're in. That's what I'm saying. It's like we got some Q&A from the punters. Dirk is asking a great question. How do I get the newsletter? Wow, Dirk, unbelievable that you ask. You click the link in the video description below to get our free weekly newsletter, which covers like all the inside information you need on Patek, AP, vintage, modern, like stuff we don't cover on the channel. I mean, that's for like the real insiders. This channel is for like the mass market, the hoi polloi. The newsletter, that's for the cognoscenti. We got Craig. I took Detroit. I don't even know what this means. I don't know the sports market. The AP. We got Craig. Yes, exactly. Yeah, people need to tell their friends about the channel. We got to get more eyes on the channel. We got great nobody else is doing this type of content on any of these channels. Nobody's showing. You got basically what is like $1 million in watches right there. I mean, in theory, about right.
Probably, I mean, yeah, somewhere around there. I mean, it's probably just under if I was like counting.
You're modest. Yeah, it's a little bit under. But the box is, what is it? It's a couple of grand a box.
The box is pretty. I have another Goyard box that I need 2 watches to fill, because it may be evident if you look at my Instagram or even some of the stuff we talked about. I had bought a lot more watches, and then I actually realized I had too many because I got overzealous last year. Like I said, I got into collecting. I went off the deep end. I bought a shit ton of watches, and then I kind of like fumbled my way through. Okay, what do I really like, and what are the pieces that kind of speak to me? And so I ended up downsizing my collection like earlier this year, and so this is kind of what I view as like core.
So it's interesting. So you've actually sold. We should emphasize you've actually sold off. I mean, you've edited the collection. You've sold off a bunch of watches, right? You've sold.
Yeah, I sold a bunch early in this year, because they were like pieces that didn't fit me for whatever reason, stuff like that.
You're disciplined. You don't keep stuff around. In other words, if it doesn't fit, you just get rid of it. You cut.
I mean, I'm a finance guy. I'm sitting here looking at. I'm like, I have this amount of money just sitting in my safe. And granted, a lot of that stuff I took losses on, whatever. And I'm like, this is, and I'm looking at the stock market. Granted, maybe not the last couple weeks, but yeah, I'm like, I need to
opportunity cost. Opportunity cost.
I don't wear this stuff, huh?
Opportunity cost.
Exactly. And like this stuff's, like for example, the Diamond Royal Oak, right? It was probably, I think that was like April or May, something like that. And I asked myself, I'm like, when's the last time you wore this watch? New Year's. Oh, okay, I've worn this watch one time in 5 months. Let's get rid of it. And so. Now, granted, there's some pieces I maybe wish I didn't get rid of. Like I had a Meteorite GMT. That was one where like I didn't get a lot of wear out of it.
Oh, the Rolex GMT. You sold that watch.
I did, yeah.
I got to tell you something. I had it on the wrist. To be honest, I wasn't impressed with it. I don't like the case. The case is bulky. It's not elegant. It was something about it was off.
The Meteorite dial on the Pepsi. This is. No one take offense to this. It's a little underwhelming. The white doesn't contrast well with the red and the blue. Like I want a Pepsi in steel. Like I've tried that on. Like I like that a lot more. I think the black dial fits it a lot more.
Hang on a second. Let me bring this up.
A white dial. It doesn't fit very well.
I'll tell you what the problem with the watch is. The problem is you got the Meteorite, right? But then you have the markers, the luminescent markers, which are white. It makes the Meteorite look cheap. And the red and blue, I don't know. It's like the case. I find the case too bulky. It's not an elegant case. However, if you look at the Rolex Day-Date Meteorite dial with the baguettes, that's a beautiful watch.
So yeah, that one's pretty.
I think if you're going to get a GMT, if you absolutely need to have, a GMT, you just get a regular Pepsi, whatever. It's like does anybody really need the GMT? I don't really care for the GMT. Like, who cares?
I travel like a good amount for work, like going to meetings because our clients are national. Like I'm based in LA.
Yeah, of course. But you know what? What have you considered just a dual time where you have two dials?
Would be great too. Dual time would be great. That was one of the reasons I kind of liked the 5164, the Pateks, the dual time or the.
No, it's ugly. It's ugly. It's 51. Royal Oak dual time. Have you seen the Royal Oak? You've seen the Royal Oak.
Is that the owl? People call those the owls.
No, the one I have on my wrist, that's the owl. The Royal Oak dual time. I'll bring one up.
Yeah, let me see.
Royal Oak dual time. Okay, so is it on the screen? Hang on a second. Okay, so The one that you need is the big one, which is
Oh
like
yeah, that's cool.
41 mil, and on a strap. I mean, I don't know that main you go. The dials are beautiful. Actually, oh, so this is an older dial. Yeah, the watch is
Yeah, that's cool.
big. And you can get these in the mid 30s, mid 30s.
That's a good price.
You can do black, the black. And you know what I like about it personally is like I want to see the time, two dials. I want to see two dials because mentally I can't get into the GMT thing. I just want to see what time it is in the other place. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, it's
That makes sense.
and you got a calendar. You got a calendar also, which is nice. You know,
Is that a power? What is that in the top? That's not a power reserve, is it? What's in the left?
yeah, it's a power reserve. Yeah,
Oh,
check
that's
this out.
cool.
How about this? Look at this on a rubber. You put this on the rubber strap.
Oh yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I like that.
I mean, in the 30s, how could you go wrong?
No, that's pretty.
You know, hang on a second. I got uh I have one of these in full yellow. Actually, I have something like this in full yellow gold. But mine is 30. It's like 36 millimeter. So for you, that's too small. This would be too small for. Actually, no. I think this is a bigger one. I think this is a big one. 39 millimeter. They make so you could do 39. This is a high price. These should be
that
much
looks
less.
nice.
The great watch, yeah. I mean, it's like, and you're not going to be like every other asshole with a GMT. I mean, that's like such a, like, oh god. Imagine you go to a client meeting, you're there, and every other banker, there's a whole bunch of guys
I
sitting
know
in his waiting
everyone
room.
has you see so many Pepsi.
They're all wearing Pepsis. The guys, you don't want to be that guy. You want to be the one with a better watch. And you can pull it off because you have a huge wrist. Your wrist is like a tree
speaking
trunk.
of size, so the other watch I sold, which was a really beautiful watch, it just didn't fit. Was I had the Saxonia thin with like the aventurine dial, like the copper flux. Have you seen those?
I think is that on your Instagram? That's the Langen Zone.
Probably is. Yeah, it should be on there somewhere. But the thing, I mean, for me, it just.
Oh, here we go. Oh shit!
It looked like a quarter sitting on my wrist to me. Like I couldn't get over how small it was. But that was one I was like, if it was a little bigger, I would have kept.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I don't. It's. I don't know. It's that watch is.
That's also not a good picture. But
it doesn't have enough flash for you. It's too basic, I think, for you. I think you need something which has a little bit. It's got to have a little bit of little extra sauce. A little bit. This Lang is not your thing. It's really. It's. I think AP. I mean, the Royal Oaks. Again, I'm not like a salesman for Royal Oak, but like a dual time, whatever.
Yeah.
And then, hold on a second. So
that was like kind of my collecting journey, right? It's like kind of getting started, kind of fumbling my way through.
Listen, the Lange, Lange makes some like the other ones they do with all the crazy. Those are big watches. Those could be for you. Could be very good.
I just generally don't gravitate towards leather band watches for whatever reason. Maybe I'll get in. Maybe as I get just more, mature, if you want to call it
older.
Yeah, they might speak to me a little more, but right now it just doesn't work.
Yeah, no, I get no. It's the stuff you have is absolutely perfect. Okay, so let's get into So you get So then you get the Royal Oak. Now, how did you get into the RM, and then when did that happen?
Yeah, so it's actually kind of a funny story. So my girlfriend, she actually went to high school with, and she had known I was getting into watches, et cetera, et cetera. And she's like, I have this friend that works at, what are they, like Richard Mille or something like that. So I'm like, wait, you have a friend that works at Richard Mille? She's like, yes. So I'm like, I would like to meet him. So I went to the boutique, got to meet him, just talk watches and everything like that, and then fortunately, they had this piece there, and it kind of worked out. They offered it to me, and so I wanted to take the journey, and it was I wasn't
The
expecting
journey,
kind
the
of,
journey, the journey.
yeah, the journey, if you will. But yeah, so I wanted to build a relationship with the brand. I think it's cool. I'm
What do you mean
super into like,
relationship? That watch, I mean, that watch is already. It's like boom. That's you're it. That's
well, that's
one
what
of
was
the that's
awesome,
the
because
prime
a
watch.
lot of times, it's a lot harder to start. That you got to start with like a circular piece or a ladies piece or something like
No,
that.
that watch is an amazing watch. They gave that to you right out of the gate.
Yeah, it was my first watch from them. So that was like awesome. I'm super into Formula One. This is a split second
It's interesting.
chronograph.
It's interesting because I think when I saw your the Archie review, and I think you mentioned some, but I said, okay, this guy is like, I think you said that in the Archie thing. I said, okay, this guy probably goes to all the the F1 races. He probably is in the VIP thing there. So you got to have an RM as part of that whole. It's a whole lifestyle thing that goes. It's part of the whole thing, right? Like
It's the
you need to
it's
watch.
just at F1 they're right at home. You know what I mean? Like as much as some of these are in boardrooms or whatever, like
No, that
F1,
watch.
Richard Mille's perfect.
Yeah, and for you, listen, for you, like it's. I would say you can actually you look at that watch as really like I don't know, I would call it almost like an investment because you can meet clients if you're at F1. You meet, because who's going to F1? I mean, guys who have the type of companies that you're selling, right?
Almost every time I've been to a race, I've met somebody that owned the company or wanted to talk more about kind of selling their
And
business, et cetera. So that
and when
is
they
true.
and when they see that on your wrist, they know that you're the real deal, and they can relate. They say, okay, this guy's like me. It's like, okay,
The ones that go to F1 races, then they're not as worried about how much they're paying you. So
no,
I've yet
yeah,
to source a client in an F1 race at a Richard Mille, but I'll shoot you a note
it's a
when I
question
do.
of time. But think of this: how much how much did you pay for the watch?
This one was about 400, I think, retail.
Oh shit! Oh shit! I didn't that much. Wow, retail.
Well, so yeah, this one is it's a split second chronograph. I mean, it's the most.
I don't even know. I don't know the price, but shit, okay. That's a real. I thought it was in the three. Oh wow. I don't know my
Yeah,
RM prices. I don't know.
yeah. I mean, I think it goes. It's under that in the secondary market, but it's
Okay.
but it's the most complicated, like kind of base level. Because for them they have their kind of like the more limited edition stuff, but that's like the tourbillons and all of that, and those are all like
Let
$1 million
me ask you a
or
question.
whatever.
All you basically need, right? All you need is if you can, if that watch helps you get one deal in the next, let's call it 5 years, it pays for itself.
Worth it. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
I would say it's kind of like you might be able to write it off on your taxes. I mean, not,
I wish.
but
I'll try that
but
argument with the IRS so they audit me afterwards.
I would say it's a legitimate business expense because it is kind of a, I mean, it does give you an important psychological advantage. It really does. All kidding aside, that everybody knows. It's like at that level, 100%.
And this one's fun.
I mean,
I've got like a bunch of different bands for it. There's a lot of colors in the dials. Like green looks great with it. The light blue is probably my favorite, but white is also good. It comes on a black one, so you can change it up.
Hold on a second. So what I love about the watch is that again, you have a lot of versatility, and with the Ferrari, the watch is perfect because you got a white exterior, red interior, right? So it's you can do
well.
Hang on, no, it's great. Hang on, let me pull this up. Let me pull up. Where do we? Okay, let me see if we can pull this up.
Somewhere on there, I've got the there's one where I have it on the white strap, and the white matches the car well because it's a white car with red interior. So then it's cool when you're wearing the watch with a white strap inside.
Have you taken it on for the car meetups?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it's got to be probably the best watch it's got to be probably in the top 3, I would assume, in the top 2 maybe.
It's
in the group.
There's some. I mean, yeah, it's one of the if you want to rank them, it's one of the nicer watches there. But I'm telling you, man, there's some heavy hitter. Like one guy has the Tiffany Nautilus, and like the.
I don't care about that watch. It's overrated.
I know,
it's overrated.
It's just when if you want to if you were to rank watches,
whatever.
Right? And he's not the. There's a
Whatever.
couple really heavy hitter collectors. So I don't want to say
No, this
like
is it.
this would be the top watch in the club, but it's a
It's
nice
in the
watch.
top, but it's in the top. Let's call it top. You're in the top. Let's call it top 3.
Sure.
Yeah. So it's great. It's great. Actually, what we need to do is you got to show us how the functions work. You got to like show us the functions.
Well, first, let me put it on. I don't think I tried to put it on.
And how often do you use it? Yeah, how often do you use it all the time?
Yeah, I mean, I like the look of the chronograph just running on it. So a lot of times I leave it running. So you can kind of see. So like it's a big watch, but it actually fits my wrist pretty well.
Oh wow.
It's chunky.
I mean, honestly, that baby blue with the gold, the watch looks like $1 million. Not 400. It looks like $1 million on the wrist. Yeah, seriously, this is like
it's well
crazy.
And so what the cool things about this watch? It's a couple things. So one, this is like an automatic winder, so you can just press this button to wind it. So if you press that 100, I'm not going to do it because I think it's already wound. But if you press it 125 times, it fully winds the watch. So that's kind of cool. And then if you can kind of see in here, this like gear shift indicator thing. I don't know if it's a little too blurry on camera. Okay, so this is how you shift between kind of like, that's how you change the day. So you change the hands. This is, you can wind it here. But and then to operate the split second chronograph, you start it up here, trying to get this on. Is this clear enough?
It's pretty good. It's as good as it's going to get. Yeah, it's pretty good. Right? Yeah, right there. Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
So to start it, you start here. So that starts this light there. That's perfectly clear. You start. It starts with like the light blue hand.
Oh, the numbers are green.
Yeah, and then when you want to operate
green. It's money green. You know that.
That's right. To bring clients in Formula One races.
It's got good feng shui. Seriously, this watch, I'm not a big RM guy, but this watch, this for RM, this is
the colors. You're not taking yourself too serious, but it's
this is everything. This is the
ultimate. Awesome. It's got like a carbon core, which is cool. And then the split second to like when you click that, see the orange come out of underneath the blue. And then when you want to catch it back up, you just hit it again, and then it kind of catches up. So it's cool. The example online when I read about this was like, if you want to time your steak and know how long you've been cooking your steak, but then time each side individually. So
let's see the back. Let's see the back. Show us the back. Oh, it's nice. No, it's great. Wow.
Yeah, it's a fun, cool piece, man. Cool piece.
Okay, so you wore that watch to F1? Did you wear the one to the F1 in Vegas?
I haven't worn this one to F1 yet, because
Are you going to Vegas?
This one. I'm gonna wear it. So actually, this week I'm leaving to go to Singapore. I'm gonna go to the Singapore race in 2 weeks.
When are you going to Singapore? This week?
Yeah. So I actually leave this week on Thursday, and I'm gonna hang out there for like a week beforehand, and then the Singapore Grand Prix, which will be I've never been to it, but it's like it should be fun.
You know what you should pop by the guys that we had on the show, the auction house. So what is it, Future Grail? Just out of curiosity, they're in Singapore.
I saw that. I saw that episode.
They have like a museum. I think they're at the Singapore. What is it called? The what do they call? I think they call it like the duty free port. It's like the duty. It's like a tax free. They call free port or something. That's where they have the museum.
It's like a big logistics hub. So there's a lot of that. When I'll get their info from you if you don't mind, and I'll go check it out.
You should check it. They have some cool stuff. I mean, I think also actually they have the guys. Their specialist is the guy who ran the Patek Museum for 10 years. But you know what's crazy? I didn't realize that when I had him on, I didn't know any of his background. But he actually was a watchmaker. He made a cool watch that's kind of like his name is Arnaud Tellier. He made a very cool watch which is, I think you'd appreciate it because this guy. I mean, this guy. It's almost like an RM. I mean, there's like serious. You should meet the guys because they're like serious guys. I mean, they're like really. Yeah. I mean, hang on. Let me see. Let me just see if I can find an image of this watch. It's such a cool watch. Okay, here we go. Share this stuff. Okay. So you see, is it on the screen? Hang on. Oh, hang on. Okay, you see the watch at the right?
I can't see it just yet. Now I can. Yep.
This is his watch.
That is cool. What is it?
And this is like 14 years ago. So this is like way ahead of the time. Rubber on rubber.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's not for everybody. I mean, like arm is not. You know, it's.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things I like about like the arms, right? It's unique. It's different. They're challenging the status quo, right? Like I like.
It's innovation. It's innovation. It's today, and you would never imagine that a guy who worked at the Patek Museum, who was like a traditional guy, would design a watch like this. It's just crazy. I mean, it's insane.
He must, if that was his dream watch, he must have been bored out of his mind.
I mean, it's crazy. It's insane. But I'll give you their info. You should definitely you should definitely meet up with them. You're not a vintage. I don't think you're not really ready for the vintage stuff. It's not your thing.
I haven't gotten there yet. I'll get there eventually.
But you know what? It's good. It's good just to kind of like for you to see it, so you can educate your eye and you can kind of see where your collection is kind of in the context of horological history. It's important. It's actually because you can kind of see, and you'll be able to just it'll be good for you. It's a worthwhile thing.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
They have crazy stuff. I mean, they have like okay, so you got this. I'm sorry. I interrupted. You're gonna wear this RM to Singapore? To the race?
I'm trying to decide.
Yes.
I'm trying to decide. Because really, this is like my F1 watch.
Oh, okay. Why?
So this is RM 6702 Italy.
Okay.
So if anyone is familiar with F1, like the Ferrari team principals, Carlos Sainz, they wear this watch. Charles Leclerc wears a 7201, but the rest of the team, they like when they have an RM on, they wear this.
Okay.
Because this was their RM, this model line, I guess. This model line's cool. So this watch, inclusive of the strap, weighs 32 grams, which is insanely light. So you don't feel like anything when it's on your wrist.
It's a Velcro strap. It's the
only I could put it on, right? There we go. So this one is interesting because even though, like we talked about, I have a bigger wrist, it actually somehow the dimensions just work, right?
It's thinner. I think it's a little bit slimmer, right? It's a little bit slimmer than the other one.
Yep. But so this one, 6702, it's super light, 32 grams with the strap.
It's a Velcro strap.
Velcro strap. Some of the other ones are like elastic, which are kind of like they look like what would be on underwear, but this is like Velcro.
Crazy.
And it's a cool watch. It's just basically time only, so there's no date or anything like that. But it's skeletonized in terms of the movement, so you can kind of see a lot of the detail in there. I love seeing the balance wheel spin from the front. That to me is really cool. But this is this is what a lot of the Ferrari kind of team members will wear. So
that's the watch. That's the watch.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna wear this, but I don't know. You're there for qualifying. You're there for the race, and so I might switch it.
Maybe bring both. All right.
That's what I'm thinking. Because I don't love the idea of flying across the world with.
It's a lot. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money watches.
And the challenge is with these insurance companies. The insurance companies don't want to cover it if you end up taking too much with you. So. That's why I'm always careful on.
No, when did you get that? When did you get the Italy watch?
So I got the Italy. That's actually, this is the most recent addition of my collection of these. So I got this in March of this year.
Okay.
And so that was
from at retail, from the boutique.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this was
So pretty much
like an
at this
awesome one
point,
to get because this was my first choice of all the colors. But kind of with them, you're just kind of lucky to get what becomes available because they make so few watches. And I remember my kind of sales guy there, he hit me up and he's like, we got the Italy, and I'm like, no fucking way, I can't believe it. And then it's funny, I'm in this this watch Discord called Crown Collective. If I don't know if any of the viewers have ever heard of it or people are part of it,
okay.
but we're always in there talking watches, et cetera, et cetera. And I sent them the screenshot of the text, and they're like, "I can't believe you talked to the sales guy like this." I was like, "Now you guys understand why Patek won't sell me a watch." So,
Wow. Hold on. Now, at this point, you can pretty much get whatever you want from RM at this point, right? Like, they know you're like legit. You're not a flipper.
I mean, I think the next watch I want to get from them is a 3503. It's it takes patience. Yeah, it takes time with
Okay.
them. So we'll see what happens. I'm hopeful that's
What do
their
you, what
like
do you
equivalent of a Daytona or whatever.
Okay. What do you think of the round watches that they do? I actually think they're pretty cool. I mean, I don't know why they're
They're
not
nice.
popular. I mean,
They're
they're
cool. Like
great.
people hate on them. I think it depends on the model. Some of them are a little chunky. Like they're very like this
They're
is a thick
huge.
watch, right?
Yeah.
This is a thick watch, but then the circular ones can be even thicker than that. But they're cool. Like I think the St. Bart's one that they just came out with is like bright blue, bright white. I mean, they're pretty.
They're
So
they're amazing. I mean, they have a lot of the same functions. They're big though, but I think that's what people want anyway, right? That's kind of
yeah.
the idea for RM. It's not for
And
shy people.
exactly. And what's cool with those is you can wear that. You got to be a little careful where you wear these at times.
Yeah.
Just depending on where you're going. But like you're wearing a circular RM, no one's gonna rob you or shoot you or whatever. So they're kind of like fun to like just have go anywhere, do anything. So definitely on my radar. If one was offered to me, I would consider it. But
Yeah. All right, let's see what's in the other box. There's got to be some other heavy hitters than the big green box. Well, let's keep it on the table. Let's for contrast. Let's keep it open. Keep it open. What kind of heavy hitters do we have in that box? It's a Goyard box, right? Okay, there we go.
It's just my other watch box. I keep the rest of my kind of collection in here.
What do we got? What do we got here?
This is sort of a mix of different pieces. I've got a bunch of G-Shocks. I love G-Shocks. I love color. I mean, that's part of the attraction of RM, right? So I've got like the yellow. It's like army green, white, and baby blue. This one is black with like baby blue accents. This one was actually a gift from somebody in that watch Discord I referenced. So what's cool about this one is it's actually a piece unique.
No.
I don't know if you, so it's they got it engraved for me when they sent it to me. So it's like says which watch 63 on the back, piece unique, which I thought that was really cool. But
that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, the Casios and G-Shocks are just they're cool. I live in LA, so sometimes you got to be a little mindful where you're going. Every week there's
lately, from what I understand, lately, like even in Beverly Hills, it's like there's been some incidents. Let's say I mean, so
you got to be thoughtful. These are good because you can just you can still get that pop of color without worrying about somebody trying to chop your arm off or shoot you for your watch.
The yellow one, put the yellow one. Let me see the yellow one. What is that? That's the yellow one. It actually is a nice color.
What's cool about these two is, and I didn't learn this until I bought the yellow one, is I don't know if you can see it here. It's Bluetooth enabled, so you link it to your phone with an app.
Okay.
And then it'll automatically adjust the time zones in the hands when you change time zones. Like just how your phone will adjust time between Eastern and Pacific. These
too much technology for me. Yeah, it's too much technology for me. How much do these sell for? What do these G-Shocks sell for?
I'm not sure. $100, $200, something like that. Yeah. But they're these are cool. I work out a bunch to try to stay in shape, so these are perfect for that.
You don't work out on an RM? Like that's like
I mean, that's what everyone says you should. I mean, I have.
Isn't that the thing you're supposed to go? You're supposed to. Do you go to a gym to work out?
I I mean, I have a gym in my like kind of condo complex, but
Oh, okay. Hold on. By the way, I was telling people a story. You're in LA. I don't know where in LA. I guess you're. You're probably so. I don't know. Actually, I don't know where you are. Don't tell anybody. But I was telling people a story about when I first moved to LA. I went to the gym, the Equinox that's in West Hollywood on the
yep,
Sunset. You know that one?
yep.
Have you ever been there? Have you ever been there?
I haven't been to that one. I've been to I don't go to Equinox anymore, but when I would go, I'd go to the Century City one.
So this is right. I think the Century City one is I don't, but this is like I don't know 2012 or something, right? Whatever. This is a long time ago.
I moved to LA in 2017, but yeah.
Yeah, so I went there. I went there because I went there because I thought there'd be like a lot of hot girls. I mean, listen, west that area, there's a lot of hot girls, right? But that gym, it's kind of the neighborhood is kind of it's a relatively gay neighborhood. It's kind of a mix, right? You get this crazy.
Area, yeah.
You got like hot girls, you have these gay guys, and then you have like a lot of who I saw working out there all the time was what the hell is his name? Mickey Rourke. Mickey Rourke. You don't know who that is.
The name rings a bell, but I don't know who they are.
Mickey Rourke was like he was like a major movie star. He's like he was in the 80s. He was big, and he made a comeback. The guy's a super talented guy. Yeah, he had a motorcycle accident. He kind of went a little bit whatever, but yeah, and also was it Dave Navarro? You know who that is? Dave Navarro.
I know Dave. Yeah.
Yeah, so he was there all the time. So it's kind of this weird. It was like like I wasn't used to that. It was a weird. I was telling people about the steam room. Steam room. Yeah. kind of interesting experiences in the steam room.
Definitely. That's like one of their flagships. So that's a busy one. So yeah, there's a lot of activity there.
I haven't been in a long time, but it was interesting. But that's that's probably the place where you wear that watch. Everybody would know what that watch is. I don't know. Maybe you'd get some action, but you have a girlfriend, so maybe she wouldn't want you go there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
You wear the Casio. Okay, so
shots to Equinox.
So now, tell us about this collection. You mentioned something of the Archie, but
yeah. So these ones are obviously look this collection is a little segmented. I have this obviously nice box, and after I
gotta have a
my collection, I was like, I need to put these. I have this box. I need to fill it with stuff. So I I filled it with these G-Shocks that I have to wear, and then I also have a couple more of my like sentimental pieces, right? So this is my dad's watch. So this is I don't know, it's a LaSalle. It doesn't even work, but it's from the 80s. Or something like that. So I just, every now and then, I throw this on.
I remember that brand. I remember LaSalle was kind of like a cheaper version of like not even Piaget or Conqueror. It's sort of like
I think Seiko ended up buying them or something like that. When I Googled it one time years ago, I don't really remember.
They were big. Yeah. They were actually it was popular in the 80s. It was sort of like the equivalent of I don't know what today is like like a mid-range type of thing.
It's
is that manual?
This is like becoming one of the styles now. This like the kind of
is that quartz? What is that? Is that quartz? Don't tell me it's quartz.
This is quartz.
Oh shit! Oh man!
And I don't know. It's certainly not gold. I don't know what.
That's actually a nice clasp. I'm actually surprised for like an 80s watch. That's like a pretty nice clasp.
So I had the clasp. I did have the clasp fixed.
Oh. Okay, I was wondering. That looked like a modern.
It was split apart.
Oh, okay. Because that's like a modern. I was like, wow, I've never seen that for an 80s. Like, okay.
What else I got? So and then sticking with the sentimental watches, I got. So this is actually.
Is your father still alive?
He is.
Oh, okay. So he gave you the watch basically.
It's kind of a long story, but he, I didn't really grow up with him. Just kind of in a bag of his stuff. He lives in Africa now. But so I have this, but we have we have a relationship as sort of adults, if you will.
Okay.
And then my mom, who, if you were just listening to the story I just told, is a super important person to me. This is the first watch I ever got. She gifted this to me when I got my first internship I was working for Northwestern Mutual selling life insurance. And so she got me this for I think it was like my 19th or 20th birthday. I can't
Oh
remember.
wow. Wow, shit, for a 19-year-old, that's actually a nice watch for a 19-year-old. That's not a cheap watch. That's like
Yeah, man,
probably what,
this
1,000?
thing was, I was hot shit with this, man. It's got,
Yeah.
I had this all through college, so it's like crazy scratched up, and just wore it
Can I
everywhere.
tell you something interesting? You want to hear something interesting?
What's that?
My my mom also bought me a Movado, but actually, no, it was a fake Movado. This is like the late '80s. Movado was big in the '80s, right?
Uh-huh.
And I wanted, I was like 14 or whatever. I was into watches, but I couldn't, listen, I'm not going to get like a real watch. I couldn't afford, my parents could afford a real watch. And this is in New York. There was a place, they used to sell these knockoff watches on 14th Street and also Canal Street. But anyway,
Okay.
14th Street. So it was one of these guys, and they didn't have fake Rolex. They had like Movado. They had like fake Gucci, fake Movado, fake stuff. And I was begging my mom to buy, and I got it. I think it was either $15 or $20 for the watch. Obviously it's quartz and it's like a fake, whatever. And I was like so happy with that watch. And then these watches, they were so cheap, it just fell apart. It like disintegrated after a while. And the gold dot wasn't even real. It was like silk screened on like gold.
That's funny.
But I was like in whatever, ninth grade. I thought it was like, so cool. And it's
I mean, the Movados are hot shit, man. They're cool. Like even like if this had the branding power of like say an AP.
Well, in the 80s, Movado was like, that was they were called the museum watch. They had one at the Museum of Modern Art. It was, it's
what's particularly cool about this one. What I like about this one is the black dial is super reflective. So there's not like a good way to do it right now because it's kind of dark. But here, look, see, you can see the 6702 in the black. So it's kind of like a cool reflective thing.
No, it's the design of the watch was like, it was a great design. And and again, they were big in the '80s. That was like probably, I don't know, whatever. That was like a status watch in the '80s.
Definitely.
Them and who else was
you
it?
like the two-tone, right? So like, this is I mean, it's not.
I actually wouldn't wear it.
Like I love the two-tone, so.
No, it's good. It's good. No, it's good to have that. It's good to have that. So what, you're advanced a lot. You went from Movado to RM, AP. Now hold on, what's with the Tissots over there? What is those the Tissots?
Yeah. So the Tissots.
What's up with the Tissot?
So again, when I first started kind of collecting, so this would have been like early last year.
Okay.
I was learning about all the different brands, and I was watching all the YouTube videos, and I think at the time the PRX was hyped up or had just been hyped up or whatever it was, and I wanted these APs. I was like not maybe ready to like fully buy pull the trigger on them or whatever. I'm like, let me go buy Movado or some. At this is the point of my watch collecting journey where I was literally just going into any watch store and I would buy just watches, right? Didn't matter the price, if they were cheaper or whatever it was. I was like trying to find out what I liked. And I was in the Beverly Center. I can't remember the name of the boutique or the store. It was like a small mom and pop watch store. And it was one of those like in the mall type store. They sell like a bunch of different watches like this. It wasn't like quote unquote expensive watches. But they were having their going out of business sale. Okay. And they were closing because the guy was retiring. So they had all these watches in there on like, big discounts, 20, 30%, whatever. And what was the cool thing about the watch store was it was actually they were the first store in the Beverly Center, period. So they've been there for a long time.
Oh, really?
I don't know why.
The Beverly Center, that's like the 5-story big building that's on like Beverly Boulevard and something, right? That's the big one, right?
In La Cienega. Yeah. Yeah. It's like one of the bigger malls here in LA. Yeah.
Okay, I don't think I've ever been in there. I've driven by there a million. I've never been there. I can't get it. too crazy.
Yeah, it's one of the bigger malls. I mean, it's kind of dead now, like because no one really goes to malls. People go to the
Yeah,
casino.
I don't like. I don't want to be in the mall. I just don't want to. Yeah, but
But so I saw
So
these
okay,
in
so
there, and I'd seen them online, and I bought them all. I bought all the different colors. So this one's cool. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of like a 59, 68 or whatever the Aquanaut. I mean, I know it's obviously not that, but the orange is just kind of fun with the green. This is a quartz one. They come on steel bands, kind of like a Royal Oak would.
yeah.
Like, so it's got that same sheen.
How often do you wear these? How often do you wear these?
They don't get much
Tissot?
wear, but like, let's say I'm going to, like, the last time I wore the other one, this one was to like a music festival, right? Where it's
Okay.
like,
Let's you know what? Let's do this. Let's show the RM. Let's do a contrast and compare the RM with a Tissot. I can't imagine. I can't believe it. You have like literally these two watches in Goyard in these boxes. It's crazy.
I mean, look, they got to go somewhere,
And you wear them dressed like that.
They got to go somewhere. So,
Yeah.
so yeah.
So the Tissot, how much are the Tissots? What do these sell for?
Like $400 or $500, something like that.
Okay. And are you going to keep these? Like what? I don't understand. Like I don't understand this.
I had a bunch more. I had a bunch more of them. I had like a bunch of different other colors. Is that I give them to people. Like friend, like they like a birthday. Just like if I have a good friend or whatever. I want to get them into watches. Like here, take one of these or something. So I had two others that I did end up giving away. These ones I'll probably keep. If you can imagine, the reason I bought this one was obviously it looks like something else in my collection that I didn't have yet.
Yeah.
And so
actually, let's bring up. Let's contrast and compare. Yeah, there we go. I could see. I could see the resemblance basically.
Yeah. So I don't know. They're cool. Sometimes it's nice to just wear something and like not even, someone wants to shoot me for it. They're not going to because no one wants to steal a Tissot.
Sometimes it's good to kind of see like you can't if you're going to wear just heavy hitters all the time, you're not going to appreciate it. But if you go to this, all of a sudden, then you go back, then like you appreciate it.
Exactly, and I think hopefully you people, the listeners, whatever. I try not to take myself too seriously, despite like some of the watches maybe I collect that may like look like the otherwise. Like we're not all like dicks that wear RMs, right? It's like just. Some of us are just trying to have fun with the hobby and do collect what we like. So that's kind of like what these should stay in my collection because they kind of remember it's a good feel of it.
We got this. Jake is joining late. I don't think he's. I think a lot of people didn't see the heavy hitters. I think we got people joining late. So if you want to give a quick camera whatever of the RMs. Oh yeah, start from wherever. Let's start from the bottom. Start from
on the other box here. We've got the 26,
oh,
240.
Can we see the back? Can we see the dial? Can we see the dial? Not the dial.
The back.
The back. Yeah, the movement. Yeah.
I don't know where the serial number is, but whatever.
No, I don't want to see it. No, but the I don't. Who cares about this? Come on, the serial number. Who cares about these?
I don't know what the hell anybody's gonna do with it anyway. But
the rotor.
They just stayed out to show it.
The rotor, the serial number stuff is such bullshit. Such a nice rotor on this. I like this clean rotor.
Yeah. Pretty.
Yeah. Put on the wrist. Let's see on the wrist. Let's see on the wrist again. We want to see the wrist shots. 7.5 inches.
So this is the 41 millimeter. What's nice about this one is I think the rose gold complements my skin really well. I don't know. The camera's not like
great.
Fixing. There it goes.
There we go.
The fly back chronograph. It's not wound, so it's not working. But
do you keep your watches on a winder or no? Are you into the winder thing?
I keep them. I get joy out of like every time I pull them out, put a new one on, like winding it and setting it and all of that. So I don't keep them in a winder.
Oh, is that the anniversary? Is that the 50-year anniversary?
No, this one's not a 50th. The 50th has it would have like a 50 on the rotor.
It has the 50, yeah.
No, this one doesn't.
You know which one I like. I wanted to get the 50th, the stainless with the ice blue dial. The stainless, just ice blue dial, 37
The
millimeter.
37. Yeah, those ones are pretty.
Yeah, but I go to, I can't deal with their store. I'm in Vegas, and the people there at the boutique are assholes, and because they
I've
got a lot
heard
of
not great
tourists
things
coming in
about
there.
Vegas. Yeah.
They get a lot of people coming in. They said, like, you know what? I'm not there to. They do this half-hour interview, and then they say, well, you got to keep coming back. I'm not coming back. Like, what do you think? I'm going to waste time coming to you? Like, what am I going to talk to you about? Like, what am I supposed to come back for?
That was always my issue with the ads. Is like, you want me to build, like, what do you want me?
What am I
I'm
supposed to? Yeah,
busy.
I'm not dating you. I
I
mean,
have
like,
a job. Like, I can't come and
yeah, I
talk to
mean,
you.
what am I going to do to your store? Like, you have no watches to show me. Like, what am I supposed to do with you? What are you going to give me
Right.
the espresso every time I come there? Come on.
Right. So,
I mean,
yeah,
it's like an hour between.
I haven't really been going to the AP boutique much anymore. Partially because I sold their watches, which is, I don't know where I stand with that. But the other part was, the vibe was just off, man. It was just very, like, forced. It was like, I'm not a
No,
celebrity, so sorry.
no, they're very. I think they're very. What is it? I think, listen, just the company they get a lot of problems. I think they're just the whole thing is, and everybody's saying that. Like, at some point, I think they're going to figure it out. Hopefully, it doesn't. Hopefully it doesn't damage the brand, because I like the watches.
I like the watches. Exactly.
Yeah, I love it. It's great. It's classic. Okay, so let's see the RM for Jake Brooks.
6501. Split second chronograph. I'm doing the abbreviated version here, so if anybody wants, you want it longer, you just got to speak up.
There we go. Now what's let me ask you this. Okay, so what's next? What's next on the? Are you looking that you have pretty much? I mean, I don't know. Like, what? I don't want to see you have everything you need.
In terms of
what are your goals?
Do I need,
collection. Tell us about your
exactly.
goals.
Do I
Your
need
journey.
any
Tell
more
us about your
watches?
journey.
No, I don't need any more watches. But I think I'd like to get, like we already talked about. I think I need, well, not as I say need. I would like to get another kind of more everyday type piece that I can wear more to the office, because I think, and something that fits maybe a little bit better with clients. I think these are what I'm primarily wearing along with the Rolex sub, and I like them. I mean, obviously I like them. They're in my collection. But after I started wearing kind of these, the lightness is something that I really have grown to appreciate over the kind of precious metal, and so, especially when you're wearing it all day. And so that I want to get like a more of a daily kind of beater, if you will, because this one's I want this piece to feel a little bit more special than maybe how I wear it right now. Like, I'll wear it 2-3 times a week, and I think, given how special it actually is, like, I would like to hold it in a little higher, like, esteem, if you will. And so I find myself wearing these two the most. So I think I need like another daily piece, maybe a Pepsi, like we talked about. I'm looking at the 5740. I've been thinking about a 5711. I'd love to get.
How? I was going to ask you. You have a big wrist. I mean, do you find wearing the gold bracelet? You find it heavy? I mean, it is a heavy. That's why I can't really wear gold, because to me it's heavy. But I have a smaller wrist. But you find it heavy on your wrist?
I mean, it's not. I would say that, like, the size of my wrist doesn't really impact like the heaviness, right? It's more when you just wear it all day. Like, at the end of the day, you feel it more compared to say something like this, or like a steel watch. It's not. Look, these are like total first world problems. But it's like, for example, I'm wearing the with my suit, right, and the gold is kind of, these don't fit under the cuff that well, and so they it kind of like digs into my wrist a little bit, and it's kind of heavy. So it just, I want to get something maybe a little bit that's a little bit thinner, more of a daily piece that I can knock around, not be as worried about. That's so I think that's the next thing I want to know. check off.
Okay, so you want like an everyday watch that does have like it is, but you want something that's a kind of like a heavy hitter though, right? That's
Yeah,
what you
I think
want.
I think for
Every
me,
day.
like I still want my pieces to express something like unique, right? So I like them to each
Yeah.
one of these has flair in its own individual way. And so I want that piece to have that. That 5740 could be interesting for that. Um, but oh yeah, I mean, I wanted more of it like an everyday, something I wear with to the office with clients. That's not heavy or whatever. The APs are a little flashy too, with the bracelet, and the kind of
but
sparkle.
also but also but also the chronograph. That's like one of the most like hot. That's what one. And I don't like their chronographs. No offense, I don't like their chronos. But I would
Gotta give
go
them a
for a
shot, man.
Daytona.
I like them, but I feel you.
But no, I'm saying but that's the one that everybody wants. So it's kind of that watch that's what they're no. It's almost like that's their one of their flagship watches. This the chrono,
Yeah.
but it's a big watch. Would you consider just going for like a two-tone, which is like steel, so it's like half the weight basically? Would you consider that like an AP two-tone?
I'd have to try one on. I'd have to try one on. Whenever I've seen the videos or pictures of the two-tone APs, I haven't. They just didn't speak to me. Um, that being said, I've never seen one in person. So yeah, I
Yeah.
never. And that's one thing I've learned with watches. You really got to see it, put it on. You know.
You should try the Nautilus, the 57, the perpetual calendar. It's like I think you'd like my only concern with the watch. I don't know if it's an issue for you, but I kind of feel like their prices are still going to come down. I mean, the list is about 155. I think they're going to go probably to that range. So if you get it for like 180, you might take a bit of a hit.
Yeah.
Uh, but it's and I don't think excuse me, I don't think it's hard really to see where like when I buy a watch, I kind of like I want to see something which is going to have immediate upside, more or less. I don't see any catalyst for that watch to increase in value. There's no real catalyst for it. I mean, long term, I don't know. I really have no opinion on
Yeah.
that watch.
Yeah, I don't know
But
it is well enough to
yeah,
say, but yeah, I think similarly. Like I'm not necessarily looking for my watches to appreciate, but I do want, obviously it's a good amount of money tied up in the watches. Like I want to know that it's like holding
it's safe
some
at
type of
least. I
value.
mean, you
Exactly.
at least. I mean, it's you want to store a value, but ideally, you should be able to get. I think you know, look, when I buy a watch, I want to basically figure, okay, I'm buying it at the kind of the bottom of the, let's call it depreciation curve or whatever, something that's been
Right.
out of favor. I'm a contrarian. So, okay, I buy it, I hold it, I figure, okay, it's going to compound 5% a year. I'm not expecting crazy whatever, right? Like this watch I paid $7,000 for, and a couple of years later, the prices all of a sudden went like 28, right? But that's an outlier. I was not
Yeah.
expecting that. I thought it would compound at 5%. So I think that we're kind of it is kind of a weird time right now where stuff is still coming down,
Mm-hmm.
but so for me, like again, like there's a lot of these watches I like even the day date, the Meteorite dial. I just think that watch is going to drop in price more, and I don't want to I don't want to take that hit. I need another watch, like I need a hole in the head, right? But okay, so we got a question. How does the Rolex Vintage Tantalum compare? I've never had it on. I've never actually seen one in person. We got 499 Super Chat Jake. The tantalum, I think, is a heavier metal, from what I understand. It's like actually, I don't know. It's a harder metal. I think it's a much more like harder to carve or whatever.
I've
And
only seen the
people are
pictures of that one. I've never seen it in person.
so this guy. Okay, so Green Rush is saying mid range. Um, I don't like the color of it. It looks kind of gray. It's got this gray look, which I don't like. It's kind of like this dull gray, and I don't find it attractive. I want something that's more of a bright. Historically, AP had those gray dials, which were ugly. On the Royal Oaks, had those old gray dials from the
Yeah,
70s and
I'm
80s.
not a fan of it gray. Yeah.
You know what happened? You know what happened with Royal Oak, and this is I've said this before. What made Royal Oak successful, and the only reason that Royal Oak took off was around 2005. They started doing like these the more brighter dials, like the white. It had more of a nice finish to it, and that made the watch popular. Like, this watch is from the 90s. It's got the older dial, so it's but the new ones, the new dials that they've been doing for the last like 18, 19 years are great. That's what made it popular all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So, okay, so bottom line, to wrap up here, you're looking at possibly a perpetual calendar, possibly.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah. I mean, I think I was kind of in between like a 5711, like we talked about, and one of the AP perpetual calendars. But I mean, the 5740 that's one I've been thinking about more lately. So definitely could be an interesting one.
Yeah, excuse me. The 5740. Look, you're going to be with that watch. There's. Though I don't know of any assholes who wear that watch. That's a classy watch. The 5740.
Yeah.
The other Nautiluses. The other Nautiluses are too. It's become like too much of a. There's a lot of douchebags that got into the Nautilus thing. Like it's a victim of its own success. But the perpetual calendar, that's like the only people I've seen have that watch are like guys who are like billionaires, right? So it's a nice watch. It's like you got the complication. It's thin. It's elegant, and I think it's relatively not heavy. It's like, in other words, it feels like you have something on the wrist, but it's not like, it's lighter than a day date, basically. So I don't know if you've had it. I'll put this, it's much.
Okay.
I would say, okay, so for example, like I had the meteorite dial, the GMT that you had on the wrist, I had it, and to me that was very heavy. So I would say the 5740 is probably 30% lighter, to give you perspective.
Perfect. That'd be a good weight.
And the blue, let me tell you, the blue,
pops.
It doesn't.
It pops.
The blue, it doesn't. You can't. It doesn't photograph it. When you see it in person, it's like, wow, it's a special blue. It's like, it's a very sexy watch. It's like 5205. What's the 5205? What is it? What is that? That's the. I don't know my number. So is that
the inline perpetual calendar or the annual calendar?
Patek 5205. What is that?
That's one of the.
Oh shit! That's the old. That's the annual calendar. No, you don't want that. It's kind of like. That's the. That's kind of like the. It's the problem I have with these watches. Hang on, let me bring it up on the screen. So the problem with the watch is that. I'll bring this up. The annual calendars that they have is that, like, what do I need this 24-hour indicator here? It's like, that should be a date wheel. Like, there's no purpose. It's like, it doesn't make any sense, this watch,
There's no...
Their annual calendar.
Wait, I gotta see the... Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, it's not popping up on the screen. Hang on. I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up on Corona. Let me do this. I'll do this.
I see the website. I just couldn't see like the date wheel and stuff.
Yeah, let me bring this up. I think the modern, the annual calendars from Patek are, they're basically they're like a compromise. It's sort of like, I don't know, like, what is this? I don't know what this is.
Okay,
it's
I
like,
see what you're talking about.
This is what bothers me, that date wheel, because that should be a calendar. It should be 31 days. I don't know why anybody needs the 24-hour indicator. Who cares? I mean, I know if it's day or night where I am. It's not a dual time. It's not a dual time. It's just like it's a useless thing there. Like.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, I wasn't following. So that on the bottom is just 24-hour time in the same time as the watch.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pointless.
Who needs that? Exactly. It's pointless. It's fucking stupid. And so I had, let me show you, I had this watch. I had the 5396R. where is the big? Okay, so I had this, and is this on? Is the screen on? Okay, so the problem I had with the watch was, for you, it might be a good fit, but the lugs were too long. These lugs are so it's very big on the wrist,
Mm,
um, and and I couldn't get over this 24-hour wheel. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, there's no point to it.
yeah, no, that would
And
be cooler as like a date or something.
and then what bothered me is that you had the diamonds, but it doesn't work with a rose gold. I just don't think it's a good combination. Uh, they do one now in white gold, which I think is much better. But I just, this 24-hour thing it's just it's pointless. And also, I don't want the second hand. Like, the second hand, I don't. Who needs that? Like, it makes it messy, makes it look cheap. I think they just made the watch look cheap. So anyway, I did a trade. I traded it in for the perpetual, the 3940, and that's
Okay.
it. I like, yeah. These are like, it was very disappointing. On a bracelet, though, actually, hold on a second. On a bracelet, hang on, it's actually kind of a cool watch on a bracelet. You might actually like this as a beater watch.
Let's
Hang on a
see. What's it
second.
look like?
It doesn't photograph well, but it's the watch. It comes on the on the white gold bracelet. It's like,
Oh yeah,
it's not for you. It's a little bit of an old man look. It's not, you wouldn't. It's a little bit of an old man look. This bracelet.
I see the
You see,
appeal of
it's,
it though. Yeah, I see. I see the appeal. I probably wouldn't be for me right now, but I see the appeal.
yeah, it's a little bit. You know who has one of these? The guy from, what's the guy? Who's the guy? You know, Nelson Peltz.
Yes.
You know, his partner was at Peter May.
Okay.
He has this type of brace, a rose gold. What is it? The World Time. I saw a video where he had
Okay.
this,
Those are. I've seen some of those.
and it looked good on him because, the guy's 80 years old, and it's like kind of like
Right.
it's kind of like
80 years old and
jangling.
rich as all hell. Yeah, it looks
It's like
perfect.
dangling. It's like dangling under the shirt cuff. It looks
Not
cool. It's like,
sized at
it's
all.
just, yeah, it's just whatever. Like, he doesn't care. He probably does. Yeah, probably, like, I don't know. It's like, for him, it's probably like it's like a G Shock basically for him.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I don't think he even knows what it is. He probably does. Like, I don't think he. I don't know. Who knows?
It's
Who
like the.
knows?
Have you seen Succession?
No, no.
Well, there's a scene where like
I heard of it.
there's a scene. Well, the the dad or the head of the family. There's a scene
Yeah.
where the husband of like his daughter gifts him a Patek, and he opens it. Looks at it. He's like, what the hell is this? Well, what am I gonna do with it? I thought of that scene with him just now.
What kind of Patek was it though?
I don't remember. It was years ago when I saw this scene, but I just remember because he presents it to him like it's this special thing, and he went through all this shit to get it, and then he's like, what the hell? I think the dad ends up actually gifting it to somebody
Oh, okay.
else,
Oh, okay.
like re-gifting a
That's
Patek,
okay. Yeah.
something like that.
That's what happens. That's what happens.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Which watch? Listen, we're gonna wrap it up. Listen, thank you very much. I really appreciate that you came on. You sharing the hobby, sharing the journey, the
Man, this
horological
was fun.
journey.
Thank you.
We got the car journey. You got the car journey and the horological journey, right? We got the
Yes,
Ferrari, the
sir.
whole thing, and it all works together.
Yes, sir. I'll subscribe to the newsletter, and
You
I'd
got
love
it.
to check out that museum in Singapore. So I'll get the contact
No,
info
yeah.
from you. But
Oh
no,
shit!
this was
I'm gonna make a note here. I'm gonna make a note for you to meet this guy Ali. Ali is the guy,
perfect.
the CEO, and
Perfect.
the director of the museum. One question I want to ask you: what about the car? Are you? What's next in the car journey? You got the Ferrari.
Yeah, that's the
What's
thing,
next?
man. So that's the thing. Like, I wish, like, I found a watch that scratched my itch like that car did. Right? Like every so often, I think like, do I want another car? First off, that car is like the sub. Like, I will never get rid of it. So, um, I don't know. I love it so much that I actually want the 458 like Speciale or Speciale. I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Speciale.
Okay.
Which is like the souped up version of my car. Think of that like, my car is the Royal Oak, like, and then the Speciale would be like the kind of track focus, like, like limited edition, if you will. Um, and that is like the best car that Ferrari has ever made. So that if I ever get another one, that'd probably be the one. And then at some point in the future, I want a LaFerrari, but that's a ways out.
Now, have you met the guy? Have you met that guy? The Chinese guy, was it Lee? He's a jewelry store. He's got a massive Ferrari collection in like he's like in
Lee.
not Pasadena.
David Lee.
David Lee.
He owns Hingwa Lee Jewelers, like a Rolex AD out here. I've never met him. I've seen him at like a restaurant once, but I never met him.
Have you been to? He does some sort of car meetup at his store.
Yeah, he does like car. It's a car and watch meetup. It's called Cars and Chronos.
Cars and Chronos.
I would like to go and check it out. I don't know. I think I've always been busy here. It stopped for a while because of COVID. I think he actually just brought it back. But that guy is like a crazy Ferrari collector. He's got he bought like the Enzo, the F40, the F50, the LaFerrari, and I think he got them all in yellow and red. So he like wanted to complete the kind of like
he's got like, I mean, it's got to be like $50 million in cars or something. He's got like crazy cars.
Oh, he's probably got more. It might be more. He's a huge car collector. And he's
now let me ask you.
Yeah.
This car club you're in that's got all the guys with the Ferraris and the Lambos, would they allow somebody who drives a 2006 Bentley in there, like a flying spur, a 4-door? Is that
would that
be?
They might. It's Bentley. They very well might.
It does. It can do 200.
They very well might. I just know they hate when it's the Corvettes that they hate. They don't like letting the Corvettes in. But Bentley, that could do it.
You know what I like about the car is it's kind of like a stealth car. It's kind of like an ugly car. It's a Ford. It's a sedan. So it's not like cops have an eye out on that car because they think, oh, it's like some, it's a sedan. It's like whatever, some old guy. I mean, your car is like, it's like, it's like they see it.
Pull them over.
It's like, it's like nobody bothers you with that with a sedan. But okay, we got. Let me bring this up. Quick super chat here from Jake Brooks, $4.99 super chat. 5930G. That's the travel time. Excuse me, the world time. That's the chronograph. I saw this watch.
I like these. These are good.
You know what's good about it is it looks more modern. Like the thing, it's a cleaner look than like the old ones that Archie and Tan have. Like, which is they got that stupid map. Not map. They got the map one is I hate the gear shade that one, but the one with the what the hell is it? Actually, no, the design is cool. This actually I like much better when you have this white gold with the blue. It looks cleaner because the white one looks very boring. But when you have this white text and a blue background, it's cleaner. Yeah, but I don't know who needs it. Would you need a chronograph in a world time? I don't know. I guess maybe.
That's why I think they're just doing that because they can. You know what I mean?
They want to show the can.
It's a lot going on there. I agree, and it makes the dial a little bit busy, but I do like it.
It's it's not my thing. It's not. I can't get into it because I'm just not into the chrono thing. And the world time, like, I like dual time. I like 2 dials. I want to see 2 dials. I'm like not into the whole, whatever. Patek lovers hate the watch. I don't know why would they hate. To me, it's like it's modern Patek. I mean, it's modern Patek. I don't like modern Patek right now. I think they need to, whatever. But okay, which watch? Listen, thank you for your time. We're at the 2-hour mark.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it.
I'll shoot you out the emails. Thank you very much.
Sounds good.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll see you on the next one.